Today there are more than 100 labels for the collector to browse through in the countless number of record bars in cities and towns throughout the country. The industry in Australia is booming to the tune of more than £12 million a year. Its latest boost, the surf sound, has captured the ear and spending money of teenagers. The teenage set forms an integral part of the industry's success story, a story of the advent of portable players, transistors and stereo. It's a story thrust forward on the beat of rock and roll, the twist and the surf sound, helped by a quiet resurgence of popularity for musical comedy and light classics. An ABC reporter asks about the discs they buy.
Do you buy many records?
Yes.
You're buying any today?
Yes.
How many do you think you might buy? One or two? Okay. Turn that down just a little bit, please. How many would you buy in an average week?
I bought 4 old ones last week and 1 new one.
How much would you spend in a week on records?
Oh, maybe £2, £3, something like that.
I see. How many have you got at home?
Oh, 100 or something, about nearly 105.
You come out of there for a minute. What sort of record do you collect? Oh, anything modern? You going into the surfing stuff now?
Yeah,
Yeah, stomp and all that sort of thing?
Yeah.
And how about you? Same sort of thing?
Oh, yeah, I like jazz a lot.
Traditional jazz, yeah,
Traditional
Dixieland,
jazz.
that sort of stuff. Do you think it's pretty important for people to have records these days, young people? I mean, they make a big difference at parties and things, don't they?
Oh, yes, they do. I think they keep the young ones entertained at the parties and...
Do you think there's any sense of competition between young people to see who can get the most and the latest?
No.
What sort of records do you collect normally?
Oh, mainly instrumentals.
Popular stuff?
Yes.
I haven't very many at all. I have 20 or 30.
No, that's a fair collection. Do you
Yes.
spend much money on records?
No, not now. I'm saving to go overseas in January.
Most discs available in Australia today are pressed here. The process has become highly mechanised. At this plant in Sydney, the master pressing is used to turn out a record every 25 seconds. The vinylite biscuit, as it is called, is folded to be placed over the centre of the master pressing. Under heat and pressure, it will mould into the fine grooves of the pressing to emerge as an accurately cut disc. The disc is then trimmed on an automatic machine. Australian-made records are now being exported. Our reporter speaks with Mr. Ron Wills, a leading authority on the industry.
The gramophone industry certainly seems to have become a pretty big baby. Could you give us any idea at all of how many gramophone records are produced in Australia every year at the minute?
Well, not every year, I don't think, not as a regular figure, but the statisticians' figures at the moment are roughly about 600 to 700,000 a month.
At the present time?
At the present time, yes.
What would this be worth to the industry in terms of an annual turnover, money-wise?
You mean retail trade?
Yeah, in retail trade,
Well,
yes.
I think you'd have to average it out at that because various records are various prices, but I say you set a figure of 30 shillings a record.
Just an average?
Roughly, what, 12 million pounds?
So about £12 million a year all told. Why are gramophone records so popular and why are they continuing to get more popular all the time?
Well, it's a fairly constant form of home entertainment, and I think it all boils down to the old saying, the music you want when you want it.
If record sales are increasing all the time, it seems fairly safe to say that the recording industry is one which has not been affected by television.
Well, now, that's not strictly true. It was affected by television around about 1958. There was a dive then, but we are well on the road back, and records these days are growing in popularity all the time, and I hope we'll get back to the peak that they reached just after the war.
The recording industry takes pride in the vast improvement in quality achieved, a quality enhanced since the advent of stereophonic sound, and much of the improvement can be traced to the recording techniques. Today, the Australian industry can claim their products are equal to any. This is the atmosphere at a typical recording session. From recording sessions such as this, and from the imported master pressings, the Australian record industry turns out the best part of 750,000 records a month.